Today's episode, Heather asks, how do you build a website architecture that scales for new content? How do you build a website that is robust, that is laid out well? The answer to this question depends on what kind of website you have. If you have a website that is, you're the industry leader, and from a from a search and a content perspective, like you are the go-to site in your industry, you're going to want to rely on data from your web analytics, like Google Analytics. That's going to help you decide what to prioritize. If you're not the leader, you're going to want to rely more on competitive data, particularly SEO data. To do this well, you're going to need, obviously, your web analytics. You're going to need an SEO tool of some kind. And you're going to obviously want to have a notepad or something you can sketch and write down ideas about. So let's look at a couple of different examples of how you would do this. First, if you're the site leader, if you're the category leader, what you will do in your web analytics is in Google Analytics here, go to the behavior section, go to all pages, and then what you're going to do is start making, let's go to the top sort of 25 pages. And this is going to require some qualitative judgment on your part. This is not something that you can automate, but you're going to want to go through and start looking at your top pages on your site. What are the pages that categorically seem to have a clustering together that you can make topics or headings or groupings for? So I have my consulting billing rate post, core competency business, social media, new and returning visitors. So this is an analytics post. This is more of a strategy post. This is a general marketing thought leadership post. This is a business thought leadership post. This is I guess business thought leadership post as well. Keep going down here. Marketing thought leadership. Offsite conversions is analytics. This is business thought leadership. This is probably business thought leadership. This is off topic completely. This is business thought leadership. This is analytics. And so you see these themes keep coming up: analytics, business thought leadership, and so on and so forth. And you cluster together those topics. And now I'm starting to get a sense from my own website. Yep, these are the things that I create content about on my site. And so if I was going to put together an architecture to gather up these posts, these would be the headings that I would use to make the site easier to navigate and to provide some sense of where things are going. Now, in these topics that I'm listing, if you know your business and you're going through and you're at the top 25 or 50 or 100 pages, and you're like, well, where's X, right? So where's machine learning? Where's AI? Where's email marketing? That should tell you, okay, then there's a content deficit there, or the content that's there is not search optimized or is not traffic optimized, and that's something you could set aside as a marketing problem, as a content marketing problem to fix later. But this is what you'd want to do. Take what's popular, and then of course your strategic priority. So if data science was a strategic priority for my personal website, I have no data science posts showing up in the top 25. Okay, time to create some more of those. So that's one way of categorizing. Now let's flip over it. Let's say you're not the category leader. What were the things that you'd want to do? I'm going to use, in this case, the RFs tool, which is one of the many SEO tools out there. I use it because, full disclosure, they gave a free copy to the podcast I do, Marketing Over Coffee, and so I use what is given, because why wouldn't you? So there's a couple different ways you can do this. The way I like to do this with what's called Content Gap, which shows what each of these sites ranks for. So I've chosen at least two of the sites have to rank for a term that my target website doesn't. So I'm going to use braintrustinsights.com, the data science consulting company I co-founded, as the target to say, I want to know what do these all have in common, what at least two of these have in common keyword-wise that my site does not. And I would scroll down here, and we start to see business analyst, consulting, telecom, benchmarking, IAS, operations, management consulting, machine learning algorithms, customer experience, and things. And now, because these are sort of the very broad topics in general, these are the key search terms that these sites rank for, start putting together the things that, again, I would want braintrustinsights.com to be noted for. So I would want machine learning algorithms. Yep, that is right on target. That's something I'd want to write and create content about, and even have a category of content about. Management consulting, maybe. Zero-based budgeting, not really. Customer experience, you betcha. Data lakes, social impact, master data management, you betcha. So these are now starting to form out. We see ideas and ideals about data management, about machine learning, about customer experience. Now we're starting to get into that architecture. So if you have a website where, yep, you're not the leader, and that's okay, you would use competitive SEO data to start figuring out, okay, these are the things that people actually care about. They search for it, and that competitors are ranking for, so we want to create content in those as well. And the reason you use competitive when you're not the leader is, well, you may not have a ton of content. You may not have a great backlog of content. On my personal website, I've got almost 10 years worth of content. On a new corporate website like Brain Trust Insights, we don't. We were just founded last year, so we don't have that huge backlog of content. So this instead helps us understand the landscape. And then, of course, supplement it with your judgment and your strategic priorities. If on here I didn't see anything about statistical analysis, okay, let's make sure that remains a strategic priority in our architecture. Because what you want to do is build the architecture, and then for newer sites or for sites that aren't the leader, create content within that to better grow the practice, to better grow the content that's available. So great question, Heather. Very common question, something that a lot of people run into. These are two techniques to help do that and to help plan it out. You're going to want to do this in a tool like a mind mapping tool, or on a whiteboard with lots of post-it notes, so that you can move stuff around very freely, as opposed to it being a bunch of PowerPoint slides, because that's going to lock you in, and it gets tedious. When you have a wall full of post-its in different colors matching the different sections, you're going to get a much better architecture that way. So give that a shot and see how it goes. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the newsletter, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you want help with your company's data and analytics, visit braintrustinsights.com today and let us know how we can help you.